Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of Andrewsfootball.com. I've got the fifth pick in the 2019 draft, currently owned by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now Bruce Arians is taking over as a head coach in Tampa Bay, and what they've decided is that Jameis Winston is going to be their quarterback, and he decided he wanted to take over this position because he wanted to work with Jameis Winston, a guy who's got phenomenal ability at Florida State. He also played baseball reportedly through a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Arm talent is easily top 10, maybe top 5. Realistically, let's just say top 7, but I mean, definitely above average arm talent. Now, keep in mind, I'm a Chiefs fan, so I've been watching Patrick Mahomes all year. But there's a lot of talent there, and Bruce Arians thinks that he can get the most out of it. Now, you have to understand is that Bruce Arians, when he was in Arizona, he worked with Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald. Well, Jameis Winston and Carson Palmer have a lot of similarities. Both of them have above average arm talent, and both of them needed to kind of jumpstart their career. Now, keep in mind, Carson Palmer was in the later stages of his career, where Jameis Winston's just trying to get his started. And you have Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Evans. For those of you who don't know who Mike Evans is, fantasy football owners, take note. Between now and 2021, sometime in the next 3 years, experts are going to call Mike Evans the best receiver in football. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, next year, or in 2 years from now, but Mike Evans has that much talent. And when you put him with a guy with the arm talent of Jameis Winston, if you watched my video yesterday about the Kansas City Chiefs, how I said Mahomes plus Tyreek Hill is like 1 + 1 = 3. Same thing here. Mike Evans has got all the talent in the world, and Jameis Winston's got all the talent in the world. And the deep ball plus a guy who excels at catching deep balls with his size and athletic ability, it's just going to wreak havoc. So fantasy football owners, take note. Draft Mike Evans early. So, Dan, who are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to draft? Well, here's the thing. In a perfect world, I think they really want to trade down. They re-signed both their offensive tackles. Like I said, they got Winston, they got Evans. On offense, the only thing they really need is a running back. And at this draft, picking a running back at 5 is just insane. Now, this draft is really, really deep on offensive linemen and pass rushers. So, in my mock draft, you have 2 of the quarterbacks are already gone, and there's a lot of people that love Dwayne Haskins. A lot of people have him as the number 1 quarterback in the draft, but in my mock scenario, they're gone. So this is a prime location for teams to trade up. And if you look at my mock draft, I've attached a trade value chart for the first and second round. Now, the Dallas Cowboys in 1989, I think maybe it was 88, they came out with a chart assigning a point value to each pick in the NFL draft. First round through the 7th round, and each pick has a numerical value. Pick number 1 has 3,000. Pick number 2 is 2,600. Keeps going down. So you kind of have an idea of what you want to trade for because it has a numerical value attached to it. Well, trading from 1 is really difficult. So is 3. Now, 5, on the other hand, because the way it works is that the first 4 picks drop 400, but from 4 to 5, it's only a 100 drop. Let's say you're Denver Broncos, for example. Well, the 5th pick in the draft has a chart value of 1,700. Well, the Denver Broncos at 10th has a 1,300, so you have to get up 400. Well, 400 would be the 18th pick in the 2nd round. Well, the Denver Broncos, fortunate for them, is that they have the 41st pick in the 2nd round, so they got more than enough to be able to trade up, plus they have some extra picks, so they have more than enough draft capital to trade up to that 5th spot. The Miami Dolphins, who, unless they want to go forward with Tannehill, it looks like they're not going to, they have the 13th pick in the 1st round and the 16th pick in the 2nd round. If you add those values together, it's 1,630, so they only need 70 points to jump up, which is very easy. So the way this mock draft works, and I'm just throwing out 2 teams that may be interested in a quarterback because if you looked at my mock draft, Dwayne Haskins is going to go number 6 to New York Giants. So spoiler alert. So if you do want a quarterback, this is the perfect spot because Tampa Bay really wants to trade down. And you have to understand they're switching defensive schemes. They got Bruce Arians, who brought Todd Bowles over. He was former head coach of the New York Jets. They worked together in Arizona. Todd Bowles was the defensive coordinator in Arizona. If you watch my previous video on the Jets, Todd Bowles got a raw deal, but he's an excellent coordinator. And what the defense is going to be built around is speed. Because it's kind of funny because the NFC South has 3 teams that are doing the exact same thing. You got the Saints, you got the Falcons, and you got Tampa Bay, and they're all following the same blueprint. They want to have a top 5 offense, which Saints and Atlanta do. But they're not trying to be the 85 Bears. They're just trying to put a top 20 defense with lots of speed, with pass rushers that have ball hawking secondary members, because they're okay with you scoring 24 points, but can we get some sacks? Can we get some turnovers? Because they know that they're putting up over 30 a game on offense. So they know that, hey, we're going to put up 30 every single game, score your 24. We just need some interceptions, some fumbles, some sacks, but we're not trying to shut you out. You're going to get your points. And it really looks like Tampa Bay is going to follow that same blueprint. They're going to try to build a top 5 offense and just put enough talent on defense that they keep it competitive. The way the NFL is nowadays, you really can't have a great offense and a great defense. Yes, I'm fully aware the Patriots kept the Rams at 3 points, but if you watch the conference title games, the AFC, conference championship, it was a high-scoring game, and that's kind of the way the NFL is nowadays. You can try to have a great defense or a great offense. It's easier to have a great offense with the rules that are in place nowadays. So that seems to be a trend, especially in the NFC South, where you have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and yes, Matt Ryan is a Hall of Fame quarterback. No, I don't think Cam Newton is, but Jameis Winston has the ability to become at least a Pro Bowl quarterback. At least he was earlier in his career. He obviously wasn't last year. So, Dan, who are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to draft? Well, here's the thing. If they don't trade down, and if the draft board comes out the way I see it coming, the 5th player taken in the draft is going to be Quinnen Williams. Because Quinnen Williams is the safest player in the draft. Universally, nobody dislikes him. There's holes in Bosa's game. There's holes in Josh Allen's game. Neither one of these quarterbacks are perfect prospects. You want to see a perfect prospect quarterback, wait till 2021 when Trevor Lawrence comes out from Clemson. He's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, and that's going to be a perfect prospect. These 2 quarterbacks and Haskins are not. All right, there's holes in all the quarterback prospects. Now, keep in mind there's holes in Patrick Mahomes, so that just tell you where it comes from. But Quinnen Williams is the safest player in the draft. Not only, think about this: production, check; combine, aced it; coached at Alabama by Nick Saban, check. So he has everything. He has everything that you want. No red flags. And he's young. This is a guy who could be a Pro Bowler for 10 plus years, easy. And this is exactly what Tampa Bay needs. There's a good chance that if the board comes out exactly like it is, with Quinnen Williams available at 5, there's a good chance Tampa Bay may say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to take the safest player in the draft, build our defense with cheap free agent products because we know we got a top-notch offense. So now, they could trade down, get multiple players for this defense, but in this scenario, there's really no need to trade down. Take the safest player in the draft, a player that you can build your defense around. You can either team him with Gerald McCoy or you can release Gerald McCoy because keep in mind he's due $13 million. And, when you have a team with a new head coach, you don't get a new head coach most of the time because your team's good. So, they have some work to do on defense. The offense, I think, is pretty set in stone. It's just a question of can you get Jameis's talent to equal the production. And I have a lot of faith in Arians. I think Todd Bowles is an excellent coach. So I think Tampa Bay's really on the right track. Drafting Quinnen Williams is a smart move. It's a move that I think they'll end up doing. But keep in mind the draft's a crazy thing. You really don't know what's going to happen. So in this scenario, I think they really want to trade down, but when Quentin Williams is available, they're going to think long and hard. They're going to look at some choices. They're going to get lots of phone calls wanting to trade up, but I think at the end of the day, if he's available, they're going to go ahead and take him at number 5 and be very, very happy. So that's my prediction. So if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan or just a football fan in general, a draft fan, you have a comment, let's hear it. I'd love to hear from you. My favorite thing in the whole world is talking football. So in conclusion, if you are a subscriber to Andrews Football, you know you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth. But if you're new to Andrews Football and you haven't yet subscribed, there's this button right down here. It's a red button, kind of looks Chiefs color. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Wait till tomorrow where I break down the 6th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. So until tomorrow.